Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage, and I have the one and only Todd Duncan with me right now. What's up, my brother?
Woohoo! Skyping, baby. Skyping all day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey,
Let's,
I am super fired up about our Tuesday interview. So if you're watching this before Tuesday, June 5th or 6th,
yeah, yep.
uh, don't miss that call. And there'll be a link below to sign up for it. Todd and I are super fired up because we both speak a lot in the industry, and every time we talk to CEOs, High Trust. Todd, congratulations, you were the founder of High Trust, and that is trending. The digital mortgage and technology is on the top of everybody's mind, and the lenders that you and I serve, they all have local loan officers. So
Yeah.
it's all about High Trust technology, local, and I think we're in a good spot, and I think Sales Master is going to be awesome this year.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's just riff a little bit about conversion. And I don't know whether you want to call it lead conversion. I like referral conversion. How do we turn prospects into clients for life? I don't know, Todd. What's your advice to the community, and what thoughts do you have around conversion right now?
I think probably, Dave, one of the most important things I would say to anybody that's in the mortgage coach ecosystem and the industry at large is we've got to really measure how effective we are in our dialogue with people that are going to borrow money at some point in the future. If they have a desire to borrow, they have the capacity to borrow, and they have the commitment to borrow. I think that we've got to look at, okay, so what's the impetus for us to, and how do we then establish immediately the hook for a deep relationship with that person? One thing I see happening is we do have to, as an industry, move from lead thinking to referral thinking, right? And I've been a big believer forever that, if buyers know, love, and
Todd, time out, time out. Remember, this is raw. I warned you. And I want you to talk about this, because I think talking about families as leads dehumanizes who they are. I mean, they're family, they're home buyers. And again, I haven't figured it out what the word is, but I mean, I really am trying to get lead out of my vocabulary and get something else. So as we continue to riff and we talk about conversion, feel free to help me innovate here, and for all
well,
of us
there's
to
that,
stop using
hey,
lead.
there's not a lot of innovation required around a concept. And here's a simple concept. Where's your highest conversion? If we just start with a basic question, where's your highest conversion? Forget any skill. Your highest conversion is when somebody who knows, loves, and trusts you refers you to somebody they care about, that they want to have know, love, and trust you. So the obvious first thing to do to increase conversion is, let's not focus on cold leads. Let's not focus on leads that are not qualifiable leads. Let's not focus on lead lists. Let's not focus on internet generated leads. Let's not focus on any of that. Let's focus on the ecosystems that all of us have access to, that we build, of people who know people who need to know us. So I was told when I was a loan rep that you should never make a cold call on anybody. And it was like the best piece of advice I ever got, because there's nothing wrong with cold calling if that's your model. But in the relational model, the high trust model, the client for life model, that's not what we do. We need to create impact with borrowers, where our strategy, our advice, our love, and our caring for them evidences itself in a long-term position of managing their mortgage for life. And conversion starts with somebody knows somebody who needs to know you. And there's a 10 or a 15 or a 20 plus right there. So
Yeah, no doubt.
talk about a riff. Yeah. And by the way, any LO who's ever had call reluctance, you have call reluctance because you're talking to somebody you've never talked to. I mean, imagine being referred. Hey, Dave, it's Todd. Your buddy Jim asked me to give you a call. Jim and I have been doing the business for 10 years together. And one of the things he thought you should know about is strategic home loan planning. And I'm simply calling at your buddy's request to see if we can have a conversation about it. I mean, my referability right there is lights out higher than any Joe Blow, cold lead, whatever. So I agree with you.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's do this. So, and again, you and I have done so much together. I mean, you still have a script that's alive in our total cost analysis. So if you're watching this, everybody, go to the Mortgage Coach app, type in Todd Duncan, and Todd gives some insane scripting to how to get people to refer. By the way, I'll put a link to that below. You can click on that and get a good script from Todd. I want you to talk a little bit, because you did a really cool video. I don't know if it was a week ago or a month ago, time flies so fast nowadays. But you talked about conversion. By the way, I'm going to put a link to that below because Todd just was super intentional, gave your thoughts on conversion and how to calculate it. But let's give people a taste of that. If for a loan officer that's listening to this, a mortgage coach that wants to improve their conversion, probably they need to start by measuring it. But where would you tell them to start, and maybe give us a little bit of leadership from Todd Duncan on this?
Well, so I'm in the midst of writing a book right now, and the title of the book is "Turn Down the Promotion, Turn Up the Emotion." And the idea behind conversion is the more you promote, the less you convert. And so we can't be about talking and positioning and bragging and any of the stuff that typically happens, in terms of making the sale. In fact, what we have to do is almost the obvious. And you mentioned, Dave, the whole idea of humanity. We have a client in Australia that funds $2 billion a month, and the CEO said the number one thing that we're doing as a company is we are bringing humanity back into the sale. And I thought that was brilliant. These guys are doing $24 billion a year in a country that only has 25 million people. You want to talk about lights out? That's just insane productivity. And he said all the competitors that we have are anesthetizing the process. It's turning into this kind of stainless steel bend over doctor appointment, and you got to bring humanity into the sale when the sale's high. And so the first thing we need to do is understand the power of humanity. And if humanity is real, then it is about connection. And the only way to connect is through deeper conversation around things that matter. And so with a borrower, one of the ideas is to slow down the conversation to deepen the relationship. Nobody gets a plaque for how fast you talk to a borrower. The only thing that rewards you, paycheck or top producer status or anything, is the connection you make with a borrower that transfers trust, where the borrower says yes to letting you be their financing partner. That's all that matters. And so if I can connect deeply, and what we know about high value sales, anything that's in our category, hundreds of thousands of dollars, anything that's in a high value sale requires more emotion than it does logical justification. So we can't just promote on fee. We can't just promote on product. We can't promote on turn times. We have to connect with the human being. So there's a series of questions in your thinking about how do you get a borrower to just stop for a moment and realize the power of this personal connection. And if that connection exists, conversion starts to go up. The video I did was called Moneyball, and it's on Todd Duncan TV, which is our YouTube channel. And Moneyball was all about too many LOs look at the grand picture and they think about, what they want to do during the year, and they think about the big plays. And what Moneyball is coming all the way down to the small details on what am I measuring each and every day. And the thing that was interesting is if you're measuring optically the conversations you're having with your database, the conversations you're having with your referrals from your partners, and then you're measuring the percentage of those that go into full-blown pre-quals, and then a TRID trigger makes that loan submittable to processing, and then you're measuring pull-through. Those are the 5 factors that create a high-performance business. And what ends up happening is the thing that matters most is the conversion percentage between the pre-qual conversations you have to loans submitted to processing. If all I do is focus on that and I have a approved loan at the outcome of that, the pull-through is going to take care of itself. So where LOs have to be today is they have to be in that delta, that sweet spot of how do I increase the number of conversations I have to absolute loans that hit a TRID trigger and go into processing. That percentage right now is where all the growth takes place. And I'm using my fingers because I want people to be thinking, we don't oftentimes consider what's it like if I can just improve my conversion over the course of a year by 10%. That's just a tad under 1% a month. And if I can improve my conversion by 1% a month, the equivalent of that 1% is usually around 2/3 of a loan commission. So if you think about it, you think about the math, and this is where I want people to just stop and take a deep breath. Dave, you and I both know we've known each other for decades, and people want to make money in this business. And they constantly make the mistake of thinking that making money is about talking to more people. And in fact, it's not. You have to have the right number of people, right? But making money is about connecting with the people you talk to so that trust is transferred. And then you lay over the economics with, total cost analysis, and you have this amazing human experience where a heart is felt, and then conversion shoots up. So I'm just telling people today, man, in the new world in which we are living, the only number that matters is the number between people who are thinking about using you and people who say yes to using you. And that right there is the magic point. That's the Moneyball point.
Yeah, no. So again, link to Moneyballs below. I mean, requirement for the mortgage coach community. Listen to that. Todd really broke it down thoughtfully in a way that's engaging. If you're a manager on this call, I hope you share this video with your team, and I hope you share Moneyball with your team, because it was fantastic leadership, Todd. So, you said something, and, the name of the game is, turning up the emotion, turning that customer into a customer who says yes, but it's a customer who not only says yes, they want to refer you to everybody, because you are a hidden treasure. And again, Todd, I'm always trying to get mortgage coach leaders to deliver the mortgage coach total cost analysis more consistently. Despite all the messaging you've delivered from stage and in calls like this, still there's loan officers that's like, they give their average experience to everybody, and they give their best experience when it's demanded upon them. Any advice on how we can push the community to, give that great high trust emotional interview with the total cost analysis to everybody? Why does consistency matter, and why everyone?
Well, the two things that drive ultimate financial success are mastery of a skill and the consistent execution of that skill. But behind mastery of a skill, there has to be belief in whatever it is. So in this example, if a loan officer does not embrace a fundamental belief that a total cost analysis is life-changing for a borrower, then utilization of the tool and the technology will not go up. It'll go down. So people often use the word adoption, and they use it in the wrong way. Adoption is not use. Adoption is belief. I've got to believe that a total cost analysis, I've got to believe that the human connection, I got to believe that the high trust interview is the formidable way to build lifelong relationships in this business. Once I believe that, then I can use it. And when I use it, then I get what we call success results. So, TCA sounds good, blah, 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 blah. Oh man, I talked to that guy. I see now I see how that could really be powerful in my business. I'm going to try that. So belief changes. Then they go try it. And all of a sudden a borrower goes, I've never had a lender have this kind of conversation with me before. Now belief goes up and utilization goes up. So that creates success. And then when success happens, belief goes up. So it's this kind of connected loop where I got to believe in it first. I got to use it second. I got to experience a victory with it third. That increases the belief, and we go down this path and continue to gyrate up and cyclone the business up. Wow. But it's interesting to see how leaders need to help their LOs believe in something before they tell their LOs to use something.
By the way, that is super smart. And again, we push that a lot, build the why. But I don't know, the way you said it in this conversation, every time it turns on light bulbs. Yeah, so a couple thoughts. So first of all, everybody, if you're watching this and you can still go and see Todd and I live on the interview. Join that call. If you missed it live, there'll be a recording to it. We'll put it below. So there'll be a link to, Todd Duncan TV, a link to Moneyball, a link to a mortgage coach script from Todd, and a link to sign up for Sales Mastery. Sales Mastery is coming up, Todd. Yep. I do want to kind of limit this. We're at about 14 minutes. Give us 1 minute on why, this year, 2017, why do we got to go to Sales Mastery? And remember, guys, you're mortgage coaches. I put a link below for you.
Yeah. The simple reason is in today's world, everybody needs a breakthrough. The theme for this year's event is breakthrough, and everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants to prepare for the future. Everybody wants to ensure that they have a business going forward. And so breakthrough is the theme. And at the end of the day, 25 years is how long Mastery's been going. This is our 25th year celebration this year. So it's going to be lights out. We're pulling out all the stops, great content, great speakers. But fundamentally, Dave, everybody on the planet needs a breakthrough. If you're in this business to succeed, which we all are, all your success is a series of breakthroughs. Sometimes you have breakdowns. Sometimes you have dead stops. Sometimes you have do-overs. But at the end of the day, everything is about somehow, some way, sometime getting that breakthrough that gets you the edge. And so we're going to spend 3.5 days talking about breakthroughs and equipping LOs with a host of thoughts and strategies and ideas around how to break through to the next level, whether it's more business, whether it's more revenue, whether it's life enhancements, transformations. It's all going to be about breakthroughs.
Love it. So
Yep.
I will be there. It's the 25th anniversary for Sales Mastery. And guys, it's the 20th anniversary for Mortgage Coach.
Mortgage Coach, yeah.
Which there's a great story if everybody wants to know it. But we founded Mortgage Coach on the Sales Mastery stage. I was a speaker, told my story, walked off, and 100 people followed me and said, "I want to sign up for Mortgage Coach." I think it was like 107 or something. So be there. This is going to be a really special Sales Mastery. Sign up below. Todd, let's do more of these Skype interviews.
Sure, yeah.
Let's crush it this Tuesday. And I really appreciate you, brother.
Yep, you too. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Take
Boom.
care. Yeah, right. Take care, man.